seen it in Soweto. We seem to be seeing it in Alexandra this week. For the moment, the situation relatively quiet. James Chapman's the head of advocacy at the Scalabrini Centre. James, good afternoon to you. What do you believe is really going on here? We have an operation like the Dudula movement suddenly saying it's coming to check on foreign nationals. It says undocumented foreign nationals. Then we have a tense standoff. The foreign nationals respond. What do you think is happening here?
I think that we quite clearly sort of have a community that is hurting, experiencing a number of challenges, discontent in terms of sort of service delivery, and sort of a lashing out or reacting, and that plays out looking at the next closest other, which in this case is migrants, refugees, asylum seekers. And it's hugely problematic because it doesn't take cognizance of the reality that the migrants are not the issue, and in fact they actually can in part actually assist and help to improve the situation in the country.
I mean, we've seen so many numbers thrown around, but Statistics South Africa and other bodies have suggested there's possibly just over 1 million economically active foreign nationals in South Africa at the moment. In other words, and by economically active, they would include people running spas or shops. But if you talk about this to people, they will tell you there are 10 million, 15 million, more, 5 million foreign nationals taking jobs from South Africans. But the numbers don't seem to stack up that way.
Yeah, no. I mean, it's complete sort of misperception. I mean, you can see also if you looked at the corresponding unemployment figures, in excess of 30%. A point that NUMSA made in their media statements talking against the current sort of xenophobia is that that 1 million it doesn't even touch sides, but yet, as I say, often when it comes to scapegoating, it's not really often sort of empirically backed. It's just you're aggrieved, you're hurt because you feel that there's no access to services, you're not getting what you expect or you think that you're entitled to, and as a result, either having xenophobic beliefs and thoughts, but then it extending to actions and violence in some instances.
What kind of intervention do you think government should be making here? I mean, a police presence is one thing, but I presume there are other interventions they could make.
Well, yeah, certainly. I mean, I think the thing is that there needs to be sort of greater dialogue. There needs to be engagement, looking at sort of the underlying challenges and difficulties that people within society are experiencing. I think also, I mean, like if we look at the first State of the Nation that the president, the current president had, he talked about South Africa being or wanting to be the most welcoming and accepting country on the planet. But the reality is that the majority of the populace doesn't sort of espouse that kind of ethos or values. And I mean, it's also a country that is built on the idea of sort of Ubuntu. So one questions, what has changed, or what is it that makes it that others, particularly those who are from the African continent, are being targeted? So I think dialogue, conscientization. There was a key case called the Said case, which the Equality Court said that there needs to be a great degree of sort of sensitization for law enforcement and the police understanding the obligation to keep people safe. So that needs to happen across the board.
How worried are you, James, that there could be some kind of real violence here? I don't want to understate the violence that we've already seen, but I mean violence in which people could lose their lives if there's no action. It is reasonable to be worried and concerned, and I am worried and concerned. We're aware of South Africa's history, we're aware of xenophobic violence in episodes of 2008, 2010, 2013, but also being in the industry where we're cognizant that there are, throughout, even in between those kind of big periods, there are periods where there is assault causing grievous bodily harm, there's killing that is happening, and yeah, we are apprehensive that there might be quite extensive violence, and our call would be to
to the call for calm, call for peace, call for discussion, call for also looking at what research suggests, that migrants actually can help. In fact, if you look at the new national labor migration policy, it talks to how both internationally and locally we see the benefit of migrants, both skilled and unskilled. And I think we should really channel that and see how we can work closer together. Also we need to get civil society organizations, the state, all working together and speaking with one voice, condemning xenophobia and taking steps to guard against it.
James Chapman, thank you, Head of Advocacy at the Scalabrini Centre. I do appreciate the time.